So it does work, and the word shows it. Let's look at a few of the promising practices for social media. Like I said, you have a sheet in front of you, but I'm going to discuss a little bit of the main points here. Again, very important to create a documented social media policy. Can't stress that enough. You want to plan out the posts, actually put them on a calendar, but be a little bit flexible about it. Things are going to change. You're going to have to continue a conversation as well, not just post your own things. But very important, also plan how to collect information from people you're connecting with. Remember, you don't own your social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, you name it. They could shut down tomorrow when you've lost all your connections. So try without an invasive way to get contact information from everyone you can on your Facebook page. Something as simple as join our email list. A little link on your page, and send them to a database document that collects their email for an email newsletter. Something as simple as that. But it's very important to collect that information because you don't have it until they give it to you. You want to be conversational. Don't just post content yourself. Post other people's content as well, and talk to other people on your page. Otherwise, again, you turn into a billboard. You want to post quality content when you do post it, and keep it brief. For the exception of election season, no one wants to read a diatribe. So think headlines. And then again, very important, find your allies, advocates, and evangelists, and use them. Now, a few of the main don'ts. Do not go dark outside of business hours. This is very important. If power goes out or something happens and people are hopping on social media to find out, is a show still going on tonight? Has it closed down? Etc. So be on social media, keep talking with people, and help them out there. Number two, don't delegate your social media management to an intern. Now, we've all heard this. But yet, we still have social media given to interns. But it's very important that that not happen. Number one, because again, not going dark outside of business hours. Interns check out at 5, and they don't have a connection to the organization as much as someone working there. But more importantly, is you want to have someone with high-level decision-making ability. And the reason is, I'll give you an example. Someone hops on Twitter and says, "Oh, I had just a terrible time at ABC Theater. I'm not going back there again." If an intern answers that, they could probably either not answer it, or two, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." It's really all they can do as an intern. However, if someone with decision-making ability sees that, they can hop on and say, "I'm terribly sorry you had that time. Why don't you join me this weekend, and I'll give you a tour of the organization. We can sit down and discuss what we can do to improve ourselves." One, you've resolved the conflict. Two, you resolved it publicly, which is fantastic PR. So it's very important to have someone with decision-making ability. Number three here, don't overpost because you'll become white noise or spam very quickly. I don't have to tell you how many times Twitter has done that to me. Do not automatically copy content between platforms. It's a fantastic technology, this sharing technology, but each platform has its own language, so use that language. How many times do we see hashtags on Facebook and kind of tilt our head a little bit? And then finally here, again, don't sell or think like a marketer, because Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, these weren't created as marketing platforms, they were created as connection platforms. You don't control your message, so don't try to do that. So a few closing thoughts before I wrap up here. Social media is the epitome of customer-centered approach to marketing. Again, I told you to separate marketing and social media, but it's a part of the mix. But this is the epitome of the customer-centered approach. It's all about them, so always remember that. Don't be afraid to test. A/B test just like you would your direct mail or email. You'll never know what you can find. Again, separate social media from the idea of selling. You don't want to sell on social media. And treat it like you would a networking event. You're not going to walk into a room and say, hey, everybody, look at me, buy my stuff, and walk out. But a lot of social media pages are that. You'll walk into a room, you'll go up to a few people, have some fantastic conversations, exchange business cards, talk about when you want to meet again. If you take that mindset into social media, you'll be successful. So that's social media use for arts organizations. Now it's your turn. I found a few real-life examples of some social media use, and I'm going to ask you guys to point out what is an issue and what can be resolved with it. So first, William Schroon is the creator of Wealth Formula. It's not an arts organization, but it's just, this example is way too good to pass up. On July 7, 2009, he posted this, apparently a video really hit home with what he's trying to sell. Do you see any issue with this single post? Yeah?
This is really aggressive.
Yes. It's kind of a trick question. While I don't recommend using all caps because, like you said, it looks kind of aggressive, there's really nothing else wrong with it. It's short. It has a short link. It doesn't have any selling language. It's like, hey, check this out. This is a cool video. However, let's take a look at the rest of the feed for that day. He did this 31 times on July 7, 2009. And this was not the only day. He had different things to say for his product. But every time he would say it, it would be between 25 and 35 times on that page. This is spam at its fullest. His idea was to try to fill up people's feeds so they would see his stuff. Knowing that, of course, people check their feeds, the majority of people check their feeds 1, maybe 2 times a day. So there's a chance that they would only see one of these. However, when someone actually clicks on his profile, this is what they see, immediately turns them off.
That's what looks like a phishing scheme to me. I wouldn't click on that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's about.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. It is kind of legitimate if you want to call it legitimate. It's a guy who's selling a way to get rich. But it's, they're not a phishing scam, but like Andrew said, it certainly looks like one. On to number 2. This is actually a local organization. Looking at their Facebook page, I pulled this off of the internet yesterday. What's the issue that someone might find with this?
This is their page?
Mm-hmm. This is their page. How about now? This was pulled off the internet on May 1st, 2013. The last time this organization said anything was last November.
Wow.
This is a dead account. And on February 11th of this year and January 19th of this year, someone shared a link with them telling them to check something out, and nothing was said. So this organization, who I'm attempting to block out names, if you see an actual name, I apologize.
Does the organization still exist? I mean,
Yes.
it's a lot.
It still exists.
It's fine.
The organization, unfortunately, ignored Joel over here. Yes, so very important. This is very simple to take care of. Just post quality content and get people involved. And a final one here. If you know this program and where it is, don't say anything. I don't want to embarrass anyone. What is something you may see? This is a little harder along with this page.
Oh, same poster.
There's no to and fro.
Right. Go back and forth. It's all the same thing. Yeah, selling language. Right. As we mentioned, it's all about the exact same thing, which having it about the same theme and what's going on isn't a problem, but this is literally the exact same message almost every night, or almost every time we post. Again, there's some selling language here. Hey, $20, come buy a ticket. This is actually a good post. You know, check out this cool video for a preview of what's going on here. Things like that. And there's nothing creating a forum for conversation. It's all one way. So, hey, their tickets are this much on this night. You know, watch this video. Come here. It's kind of all we see. What's something that they could do based on the theme that you see here of their show? Just some ideas off the top of your head.
Sure. Best baseball memory.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just thinking connected to themselves.
Exactly.
Some kind of cool contest.
It's all
maybe.
about, remember, it's all about them. Customer-centered growth. Yes, very nice. What's your best baseball memory?
That'd be great.
Anything else? Maybe pictures are fantastic. I can't tell you how much more engagement a picture brought with than something textual. So maybe ask people to post some pictures of your first time at a baseball game, or post pictures of you playing Little League baseball, stuff like that. Again, it's not hard to create theme-based connection and engagement activities. It's just doing it and remembering that it's not about selling on social media. It's about creating that community for engagement.
They even could have had a baseball game and took pictures and tagged people with photos and
Go to the park, have a softball game. That'd be a great idea.
Or host one. I think, yeah, have one. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Again, all these things I've heard you guys talk about is something that is asking the people, the community, to actually engage with, which that's what